Welcome back to the 4 Power 2 Balance Tournament. My name is Left Bauer. Today we are casting Game 1 between ThirdFeather and NauseousEmoji. Let's meet the teams real quick. So for ThirdFeather in Cyan, we have Aqua995 on Advent Reborn. We have Wakey in yellow on Tech Primacy. For NauseousEmoji, we have Mr. AG in Visari Alliance in pink. And we have Remora Cesarin, who I'll refer to as Remora for this game, on the white Tech Primacy as well. So 2 Tech Primacies, I believe. A little bit of a departure from what we saw in the last in some other series with a lot of the Tech Enclave. So this game is on Crossfire. This is game 1 of this matchup. So what you'll notice here is that this is a different orientation for Crossfire. Typically, the orientation that we see is the 2 teams on either side of this here, where the teams end up fighting for the Baron and the Ferris in the middle. However, for this game, the teams are oriented in the other manner. So instead of fighting across the Baron and the Ferris, they will be fighting across the desert, the gas giant, and a dead asteroid. So real quick for the neutral factions, we have the passive Alutar sect with the Safeguard Shield, the Vigor Engine, and Remote Planetary Shield. The Send Support Fleet for the final income, or sorry, the final influence, and then the Vitrak Transport Cabal with Remote Fabrication, Jump Field Stabilizer, Remote Tachyon Boost, and should anyone get to 10 influence, the Construct Phase Gate, which for this map, I don't know if it's really big enough to need the Phase Gate, but I guess anytime you can get it, it's a good thing. So quickly, we'll look at the opening builds for every player. So Aqua has gone with the level 1 Rapture and points into Domination, and looks to be doing a double direction expand because he does have a bunch of disciples on this asteroid with the missionary ship, and then the Rapture kind of on its own on this ice planet to capture that one. His partner in crime is Wakey. Wakey has gone with the Acon Battle Cruiser for his level 1. Pretty standard for the tech at this point to start with the Acon. Also going just correctly in the asteroid, or currently in the asteroid path. Remora has started with a little bit of an oddball choice here with the Sova carrier. Sova a lot less seen from the tech these days. I think I've only seen the Acon really coming out of tech in the early game. And looks to have gone for a little bit of a gamble here, and has gone for multiple surveys on his home planet. I assume trying to get a certain secondary capital ship. We'll see if he does go for an early double cap. But having gone with the Sova, and looks to have gone Mobile Corvette Factory immediately, and skipping mass production and going Deploy Missile Battery and Mobile Corvette, I expect him to go for a heavy Corvette build. Mr. on the other hand, on my favorite faction, and the one that I typically play, the Visari Alliance, has gone with a Nano Assembly Factory build. Instead of what we've seen is that we've really seen a lot of the double evacuator builds with the Fleet Beacon from some of the other series. Actually, there is the Fleet Beacon. We'll see if he adds another evacuator to his fleet or not. But with the evacuator and some skirmishers. So looking to be adding to his fleet that way. First influence contest comes out, and it looks to be 500 crystal. We'll see if anyone makes a bid for it. Looks like Mr.'s going to add 1, and Wakey's going to add 1. Mr., will you have it in time?
Warfare research complete.
He might. It's going to be real close. So real quick on the dead asteroid, we do have a level 1 derelict. On the gas giant, we have a level 3 derelict. This one also has a level 3, and we have another level 1 on this side. So those are all the derelicts. I don't think I saw any on any of the other planets on this side. So quickly on a map update, looks like both Aqua looks to be just about done with this asteroid over here, and it looks like Wakey's the first one to get to the dead asteroid. Looks like Remora has decided to go straight for this barren planet off on the side and is skipping the 3 asteroids. I'm not a tech player, but I believe that that's a mistake because where is it? You can get the asteroid mercantile mandate, which gets you basically free income just for the capturing asteroids. And adding an extra 1.5 income of credits to these planets, plus all the extractors that you're missing income on, I think is a little bit of a mistake on his part. Alright, looks like both of ThirdFeather fleets are already on these level 1 derelicts. And looks like Mister's not even going to contest. He's going to go straight for his ice planet and just completely miss, or not miss, but skip over on the derelicts here in the middle. So ThirdFeather looks to be capturing planets at just a quicker rate right now than NauseousEmoji seems to be. Aqua up to 5 planets. Wakey's at 4, Remora's at 2, and looks to be clearing that 3rd one. But he does not have a ship available for it. Does he already have it? Yeah, he's got it. What's his ship doing? Yeah, it's just slow. Colony ships are slow. And then Mister also on this ice planet. I do like the play from Mister to go heavy into the advanced orbital extraction. That's going to be the majority of your income as a Visari player in the early game, because you don't have population on these planets to get you any bonus income. So he's getting 0.1 from this asteroid, 0 from credits, and it looks like Aqua's going to immediately come in onto this asteroid. Is their defenses up? Nothing. So looks like 3 extractors, and that's it. So Aqua's sending his fleet in, and does not look like we have any contesting on the other side. So Mister is going to clear out this ice world and just clear it. Aqua's going to come in on the asteroid. I think correctly focus firing the assembler down so that nothing defensively can be started to be built. And then he's just going to let his sub-capital ships focus fire on these extractors while bombing with this Rapture battlecruiser. Although this is a relatively healthy planet for one ship to be bombing in the early game. Just not a lot of damage available from a level 3 Rapture at this point of the game. So we'll keep an eye on the map to see if Mister does decide to go in, because he's still fighting off ships on the ice world. Alright, Remora has captured the barren planet. Looks to be adding extractors there, so I think the correct upgrade at this point is capped out on fleet supply. So currently grabbing provisioning doctrine, although he is the first one to make a move at a gas giant, so we'll see what he decides to do there. Do they know? I think that, yeah, they do. They had scouts on this ice planet, so there's no way they don't know. Although it looks like Mister's going in. Aqua's going to send his fleets to the back line, probably to go after additional extractors on this planet, just to knock out more of Mister's income. So we have our first fight here. And Aqua grabs a skirmisher right away and has turned his ship away from the planet, so no bombing anymore. And he's just going to go after skirmishers from here on out. Nope, decides to turn back to the planet.
Hostility research complete. A peaceful contest of influence.
Ship First Blood, the skirmisher that he stole with dominance, has already died. And I think there's a little bit of an overwhelming amount of firepower here for Mister. Does get the gravity warhead and subspace rupture combo onto this Rapture, although that's not going to do that much damage because he does have the safeguard shield, and it looks like he is going to turn his fleet away. But on the other side of the map, are they fighting here? No, they're not. Looks like they're just staying on opposite ends of the gravity. Well, they're both aware of how important this derelict is at this point.
Harmony research complete.
Looks like Aqua maintains control of the gravity well. Mister's going to go back to his asteroid. Take a look back here. Nope, they're just staying away while the Acon gets peppered a little bit by Javelises guarding the derelict. Looks like some Javelises followed through the through the phase jump, and Mister has added a level 1 core toll. So again, a little bit of a deviation. Usually we've seen the double evacuator, which I'm a big fan of, and adding the core toll I think is also a good choice. So let's check down here. Aqua is in a defensive position, so we'll check up on this side. So Remora's going in on all of these Cobalts. So the Shuriken, great matchup into the Cobalts, although the whose radiation bomb is that? Alright, that is Wakey's radiation bomb. So the Shurikens are taking extra damage. Cobalt's targeting directly at the pirate rogues, ignoring the corvettes completely. On the other side, we do see that Aqua has backed out, so we'll keep an eye just here. So the Acon actually pretty good at killing corvettes because it's got the light autocannons and point defense and medium autocannons, which will target directly at corvettes quite well. And it looks like Remora's going to back away. I think any stall... Oh, and it looks like Wakey has added his pirates to this back end as well. What is the... I'm the wrong guy. I always forget how many, so it's 6 pirate rogues, 5 pillagers, and 3 corsairs. So middle 50% on the corsairs. Looks like a max roll on the rogues. I'm sorry, one shy of max on the rogues, and then a max on the pillagers. So Remora has left, and looks like Wakey has the dominance over this derelict at this time. Looks like Remora is going to start adding some defenses to this ice planet, just in case that there is a fight.
Our shields are compromised.
Although, for the most part, Team ThirdFeather has most of the vision that they need to see where these fleets are. So you can see that all of the fleet supply is on this ice planet. You can see that all of the fleet supply for Mister is going to this Ferris world. And Aqua is also on his way to the center as well. I think realizing just how long it took to bomb out this planet, and it looks like Mister has added an extra defensive tract. But again, no additional income here for Remora at this time. Really quick on income. Wakey's up to 37.2, 6, and 4. Remora is at 21, 2, and 4. So quite a bit behind on the credit income. Is there a reason why? Yeah. Looks to be starting as this trade ports. Has gone nothing really unique at this point on incomes. Aqua going towards that gas giant, probably doing the same thing that Wakey's doing, and realizing that these derelicts are a big deal. Does Wakey have... Yeah, he does. So he gets this capture a little bit quicker because he does have the extra 1 point right here. Derelict Specialist, he's going to get extra experience on this as well. So instead of 2,000, I think it's 3, which should get him to level 6 on this Acon.
Civilian structure complete.
I want to see. 3, 2, 1. Yep, level 6. That Armistice has come into huge play in other matches, so quite interested to see if it does in this one as well. Alright, so take a look. Since we have a mirror matchup on the top, it's a lot easier to look at this one. So we do see 20 Shurikens, and looks to be going Stillets for the second one. Wakey, though, correctly getting the Garda flak frigates to deal with that big amount of corvettes. And it does not look like there's much available to kill the Garda. So Remora is going to have to change up his build a little bit just to be able to deal with it. Mister now getting into tier 2 after grabbing the Ferris planet. Great amount of income for him. I really like the addition of the Xeno settlement. Gives him an extra influence and gives him pop growth and population cap. So he's going to have so much metal income between his two Ferris worlds. Would really like to see him go and grab the crystal seeking nanites just to bump up his crystal income, because he's already up to 17 and 8, and he's just going to have so much income. All right, Aqua finishing the regular fight on this planet. Remora still sitting at this ice world, I think a little bit afraid of leaving the gravity well, and really just fighting some scouts at this point. Where's he going with this? Yeah, he doesn't have them going in right now. These 3 asteroids still sitting unavailable, and then no additional income on this ice planet, which he's not going to get too much from investing here, but still missing income on his home world. That income easily worth, what would that be? So this is 19. This one for Wakey, this one's worth 24. So just currently getting eclipsed on income.
Civilian research complete.
All right, Aqua, he is reborn. So Aqua does have right of reclamation. So he will steal, well not steal, but he will take this derelict a little quicker than normal. Is Mr. going in is really the question. So he's positioning at the edge of the gravity well. Maybe he does know he's here. Does he know? Yes, he does. So Aqua sitting on the derelict and capturing it slightly quicker than I think Mr.'s expecting. Typically, most players don't grab right of reclamation anymore, just because the capture point didn't really speed up that much. But with the recent change to the capture speed, it makes a lot of sense to get it, just because it is faster, and a level 3 derelict takes a very long time. And Mr., I think, realizing that he needs to come in here and challenge this, except I think Aqua's going to have this before Mr. can even get his fleet in here to fight. Yeah, Aqua's going to take this. Where's he going to go? He's not even going to stick around. He's just going to book it. Grabs the last level into domination and has gone level 2 vertigo. Has popped the plasma nova, although I think good of note. Let me zoom in on this. So plasma nova range versus skirmisher range. Skirmishers just have more range available, so they're not taking any plasma nova damage, even staying on that side. However, all these missiles are going backwards from the Rapture. All these Harkas continue to fire on the move, so they'll just do continuous chip damage to these skirmishers. And he does not quite have regenerative shielding yet, so they're taking just chip damage as they go. Skirmisher does die, and Aqua has run away from that planet. I think, again, correctly grabbing that. Mr. is getting gas giant occupation, so that's unique, because I know Advent and Tech cannot grab a gas giant until tier 3. So Mr. going ahead and getting the technology to capture this gas giant. Gas giants a little bit unique in that they more or less for Visari only give asteroid income until you add the planetary item. Where is it? So gas giant, you really need the crystallizing gas refinery to really do anything with a gas giant. Either you have to crank up the population in order to actually get some income, or in the case of Visari Alliance, you can't even add credits to this planet. So you either have to grab the crystallizing gas income, or you get the matter hypercompiler because you've got such high population and high mining. So quick state of the map. Aqua looks to be the first player to have any culture out at this time. Does there culture on this planet? There's not. So other than the neutral factions, Aqua's the first one to have any culture available, and probably very quickly going to start adding culture to his 2 ally planets on this side and his own income on the back line. And I think he's got it all the way up to 35%. 10, 25, yeah. So he can go all the way up to 35% bonus income. And also going on his way up to tier 3 and tier 3. Looks to be grabbing Illuminator almost immediately, although missing any extra research rate.
Civilian structure complete.
Yeah, does not have any of the research tracks, I think, at this time. So it's going to be a slow upgrade, but he'll get there eventually. Wakey also at tier 2 and then on his way up to tier 3. Grabbing the Hashikos, looks like he's going to go just repair. All the way up at almost 500, we'll call that 500 supply, and has quite a good income of 45, 8, and 10.5. Remora 25, 3, and 4, and looks like he's got a couple of trade ports up. Yeah, he's got some trade ports up. Still missing out on the Terran planet incomes here, as well as any of the extra income from the other planets. And only 275 supply to Wakey's almost 500. Oh, did I see something there? Coal battleship, is that what I see? Coal battleship has added the resilient metalloids, so that'll make this a very tanky ship. And I think just added the Vigor engine. The coal battleship, notorious at chewing through antimatter on its own, and so adding just a little bit of extra antimatter regen is going to go a long way, especially adding the cap of an extra 100 on it. So that's a really good ship item for this. Although now we see Mister going in on Aqua's ice planet at this time, and Aqua's got 2 lesser factories and 2 beam platforms. Does he have the upgrade on him? He does not have synergetic ward yet. So looks like Mister is going to have a unabated push at this time. Remora is now finishing up capturing up the asteroids on the back. Sorry, I needed some water. So ThirdFeather has both fleets available at this desert, although Aqua has sent in a progenitor, level 1, just the colonize ability. Did not go with the shield regen, even though, let's see, he is double missionary ship, so he's got colonization. That's not going to be the problem. Although it would be nice if he had all that free focus. So Mister has taken down this lesser factory, and there's no. Oh, he's still got one here, and it's producing ships, so it's just going to matter. So he's going to turn and focus fire directly on this mothership. So progenitor does take the gravity warhead and the subspace rupture. Let's see, he's got 70 seconds left, so can this progenitor get to the other side of the gravity well in time? Shields are gone, armor's gone. There's a decent number of missiles in the air. Cordal's no slouch at shooting missiles either, so the progenitor goes into crippled hull, and it looks like Mister's turning away. Oh, he had vision, so he knew Aqua was on his way back, and he didn't want to risk it. So continues to focus fire directly onto these Tempests. Is he going to kill off this Tempest? It's going to be close.
Military structure complete.
Yep, he gets the Tempest. Aqua's fleet was on the return. Progenitor does escape. Shield burst did go off, and he's also got the safeguard shield item on it, so not really under threat here. And it looks like Wakey has decided to go in and change his mind, probably because he can see that Remora is available on this dead asteroid, and there's too much on the back that Remora can take over. The asteroid's providing a lot of income, not very heavily guarded, and he wants to make sure that his home planet's not under threat, so decides not to fight at this Ferris world. So hitting a little bit of a stall point. Looks like Remora wants to just capture all of the neutral items in the dead asteroid. He could be going in on this asteroid. It's an undefended asteroid. 2 turrets is not going to really stop anything, especially with the size of the fleet that Remora has. Although right now he's giving Wakey a lot of time to reposition. Alright, Aqua up at 430, starting to add illuminators to his build. Mr. at 600, grabbing the Starbase, and currently supply blocked, so he's a little stuck. Looks to mostly be Crystal that he's stuck on. Did I see the correct ships? So yeah, we already talked about the Scrantra. Does have the evacuator as well, so he's added a second evacuator. Most players that are doing double evacuator are going very heavy into gravity warhead. It essentially delays warps by such a significant margin, and you really have to know whether or not it is the right fight for you to take against a Visari player, because if you get it wrong, you are stuck in double gravity warhead, and it's very, very hard to deal with a fleet doing that.
Empire research complete. Civilian structure complete. Hostile forces are
Alright, looks like Mr. does have the Xeno relations here, although we see Aqua going in to fight. And it looks like Wakey is going to have an engagement on this side, so we'll start over here, unless... Oh, come on, is he going back? No. Yeah, he's on his way back, so we're probably going to have to go split screen here, just to see what everybody's fighting about. Currently, Remora is just fighting down the structures.
Have arrived. Planet item online.
Killed off one autocannon.
To place a bid. Exploratory nanites have found exotic.
Yep, we're gonna have to go into split screen for sure. So Wakey a little hesitant to go in. I think he's waiting for most of his garters to show up. And as soon as those show up, he's probably gonna make a much bigger fight. So are they actually fighting? No, it looks like Aqua wanted to poke and then head back, so we don't have to go split screen. Remora taking out all of the defenses at this point, and that's a lot of Cobalts, and the Cobalt's going directly at the Calebs. There's not much that you can really do with Calebs against this level of Cobalts. And where is he focus firing? So he's actually got his Calebs on the Cobalts. Would really like to see them kind of firing what they're supposed to be shooting at, either structures or the capital ships. So this Dunov in the back line does have EMP charge. It's going to be a has a big slow available. Or I'm sorry, this is the shield removal. Not really that necessary, I guess, because there's no shields available other than the capital ship. Did fire it off on the Sova, and Wakey is going to chase.
Repeat, shields down.
So this Sova did lose its shields. Wakey's going to continue chasing, and on the other side we've got Aqua essentially moving towards the center, and we've got Mr. going along on this fight here. Is there anything new up? There is a starbase up here on this ice planet, so we'll take a look after we check this fight here. So continuing to chase. Where is Wakey's going? Wakey is pushing all the way in. He's going to try and take out these pirate pillagers. Looks like he's going to get a couple. Unfortunately, we had a bad jump, and the Sova under focus fire. It does have the armor patch kit, so it's taking a little bit of extra heal, but all the way through the armor at this point. And Wakey's going to position sharply there. On the other side, we see a starbase. Aqua's in the process of getting plasma for it, but this is just going to be way too tanky. There's too much ships here. They're pretty evenly matched. Aqua's got more ships coming in, and it's a very interesting idea to fight into a starbase. The progenitor goes through the middle of the fight, uses the plasma nova, hits all the can racks with the plasma nova, and then it's just going to jump through. And even though it's under focus fire, it's going to go. This evacuator did use gravity warhead. I'm going to guess it was on the ships in the back here. Yeah. It did fire off the Malice from the Rapture. However, this 300% warp speed is going to take extra damage. Where is the Malice? I don't see it. Maybe it's already gone. It's a short duration. So Mr. gets his fleet out. We'll check the other side of the fight. Remora does have a starbase, although he's doing Wakey's doing a nice job staying directly out of range. All of this flak is just going to, looks like he's actually going to shoot at the Calebs, but the Corvettes are going to take so much damage. He's already down to 7 and 19, and there's just not enough damage here for Remora. As you can see, it is a 600 supply versus 250. Even with the starbase here, there's just not enough supply. And the Calebs are getting focus fired down while they continue to shoot at Cobalts. And the starbase is just going to do extra damage to anything it can, but there's way too much flak. All of these stillets are just going to get focus fired. Radiation bomb comes out from Wakey directly on the Sova, directly on the Calebs. It's a perfect radiation bomb, as it can hit literally everything, including the starbase. Remora uses his own radiation bomb in the middle of the gravity well, except Wakey already has shields available on all of his ships, so these flak frigates are under heavy fire. So on this side, Aqua currently having the Rapture under attack. Scrantra looks to be focus fired by everything Aqua's brought. There is a starbase on this planet as well, except Mr. had it on the wrong side, so it's got to go all the way across the gravity well in order to get out. Aqua's got a level 6. We're going to ignore this side. The Sova has gone down, but there's no other fleet remaining, so we'll watch this side. The level 6 Rapture is low into crippled hull, and it's going to go down. And all of these Tempests and Illuminators, is he going to leave them here? That's the question. Yeah, there's too many capital ships left available. Level 1 Radiance is in. He's going to try and steal back at his exotics, I suppose. No, that's not a good idea. Detonate antimatter goes off. I think that went on the... I think he sent that on the Portal Devastator here. He's going to continue to fire directly at all of these capital ships. Progenitor comes in again with the Plasma Nova, so he's just going to try and do any damage he can. Looks to be jumping his fleet out at this time. Is he going to lose any other capital ships? Because he does have to worry about this starbase getting close. The starbase is going to provide that phase jamming directly on these ships. Gravity Warhead can't slow down ships that have already started their warp, so it looks like Aqua's going to get a lot of his ships out here, although enough of it's going to die at this point. That Illuminator is going to die as well. On the other side, all that's left is this starbase. It's getting focus fired directly by all of these capital ships and all of these sub-capitals. It does have 47 kills at this point, but it's almost into hull, which means it's going to have a very, very hard time surviving or doing damage. And Remora only at 100 supply versus Wakey all the way up at 750 and building more. So on this side, looks like Aqua and Mr. have stalled out. Wakey just has far too much supply at this point. And this starbase is going down. I expect a GG call very shortly. So Wakey does own the planet. He's building ships here, so... Alright, Remora does call the good game. So that will be game 1. ThirdFeather has taken game 1 against NauseousEmoji. Just in time for oppressors to come out.
Civilian structure complete.
Yeah. Alright, so that's game. Let's take a look at let's take a look at some of these items. So combat, fleet supply used. Looks like Wakey just spiked up right here to 340. And on that side of the map, white versus yellow, Remora just never was able to really close that supply gap. And then Mr. and Aqua were really the two that were battling back and forth. Here's Mr.'s engagement into the starbase, so Aqua had just evened it out, and then Aqua flew into the starbase and it got equaled out the other way. So Mr. and Aqua quite equally supplied, and then Remora fighting under his own starbase into Wakey after trying to poke at Wakey's asteroid. And there's just way too big of a supply difference at that point. And I think the big part of the reason why is that the total incomes were just eclipsed. Wakey all the way up at 54 credits to Remor's 26. Aqua doing a nice job of ramping up his credits as well, mostly from culture, I believe, and population's catching up. Mister doing a nice job with his metal for the Visari, and then Wakey eclipsing Remor's income on metal, and then income for crystal. Again, so Remora and Wakey pretty close. Really the difference being right about here was that Remora had that crystal planet, and Wakey was just using extractors from asteroids. And then there was a big planet upgrade. I think it was either a desert or a barren or the Ferris planet here that Wakey just jumped way up because he had those safe planets in the back line to put a bunch of trade ports on. So this is where the income really changed, and quite possibly just because of trade movement, probably. Yeah, trade port income. Yeah, he spiked up on trade ports. So those line up. But yeah, that I think was really the difference, was the incomes on the yellow versus white side of the map, and then just not being able to convert into fleet after that. So thanks again for watching Game 1, and get ready for Game 2 on Hammerfall.